Okay, so this week we're doing basketball signs. And then we're going to talk a little bit about kind of how to communicate with Kerwin and a deaf person on the court. Okay, so first sign is wheelchair. It's like your wheels are rolling. Wheelchair. Basketball. Basketball. Imagine like a ball in between your hands. You're kind of like spinning it. Offense is your O's. And then you pound them like that. Defense, you do D's with the same sign. Fundamentals. This is like an F underneath. Fundamentals. Shot, just like to shoot a basketball. Pass, just like you're doing a chest pass. Assist, that's an A. Assist. Foul. Just your index finger flicking your ear. Foul. Press. It's like you're up right on somebody. Press. Pick. Pick. It's like you're getting them vertically and horizontally. You're picking them. Free throw, we just do FT. F and then a T for free throw. Point, that's like 1 point or point. 2 points, you do 2 points. And 3-pointer or 3-pointer, 3 like that. Post position or like a dive in wheelchair basketball. It's like that. And then like the shooter behind, you just do shooter. Shooter. Cup, like teacup, that's a C. Also like cup, like you drink from a cup, same sign. Back. Pick. Back pick, you do like your back, you got somebody on your back and then you're picking them. Fake. 2 fingers on your nose, fake. Fake. Cross pick. It's like you're drawing a cross and then pick. Cross, pick. And then like crossing like you're going down court is just like that motion, like you're crossing each other. Switch. 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 Score. Score. Tournament. You can imagine like there's brackets on either side. So tournament. Tournament. Win. Win as in win the game. Lose. Fall down, you lose. 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 Ref has its whistle. Ref. Jump. Now this is jump as in like wheelchair basketball, like you get out on somebody and jump them. Jump is in like jump is in like AB basketball would be like jumping, like with my legs. Jump is in wheelchair basketball is like you get out in their face. Coach, C for coach. Coach. Player. It's a sign for play and then Play. Classification is like a C and then like that. And then like the point system be like 1.0. 1, like you're drawing a point, 0. Do like 1.5. And then whatever for the other ones.
Yeah.
Sub, we just finger spell S-U-B. Sub, S-U-B. Okay, so how to do like player number. So if you want to talk about like number 52 on the other team, you do it right on the shirt, like where their jersey number would be. So you say like 5-2, 52, or whatever number, like 10, number 10, whatever. It's just like that number on the front of your shirt. Okay, so like keeping score. So you could do like your team has 2, my team has 1, or like 2-1. So if you're playing like pickup games, do like 3-2, like your team, my team. Scrimmage. And like half court, you just do 1/2, 1/2, like a fraction. So half, 1/2, half. And then full is like this. So like if you want to go full court, you like full. Okay. Other basketball questions or stuff you might want to use when you're playing wheelchair basketball that we didn't think of?
Layup. Did we go over layup?
Layup, just like you're
Okay.
putting the ball up, layup.
What about rebound?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Rebound. It's like you got the ball and you're bringing it down. Rebound. Rebound.
Okay. And box out.
Box out. Kind of like you would in AB basketball. And just to tell you guys, like a lot of these signs. So when Kerwin started playing wheelchair basketball, we like asked deaf people, and there's like nobody that knows like wheelchair basketball like terminology. So a lot of this we literally just made up ourselves. So this is kind of like,
no, that's great.
Hacky sign language as opposed to American sign language. So Kerwin will kind of have to teach. So be your responsibility to kind of teach the interpreter too. Like if there's a word and coach says back pick and they're like, what's back pick? Then you have to teach them that sign. So
HSL, huh?
Yeah. So there's just, we're the only deaf people, or Kerwin's the only deaf person we know playing wheelchair basketball. So we kind of had to invent our own language with some of this. So and some of it's like words are like AB basketball signs, like rebound, that's like the actual sign. But if it's like wheelchair specific, then we kind of made it up.
Right. Did you guys get that PowerPoint I sent of our terminology? I sent it over email after last Thursday. Okay.
Yeah, me and you we looked at it. So Kerwin had some ideas. So I think I'll just kind of leave that to him and the interpreter to.
Okay.
What signs to use? Like some of like the colors will be like easy, like blue and red.
Right.
And then some things you'll have to work on what the signs will be. So, but I think, and some of it's kind of the same as like, soft jump and stuff like that is stuff we've already, used with our team. So we kind of have signs for on some of that.
Right. Yeah. What do you guys use for yo-yo? Just YO.
Yo-yo, but when I show that to you, it's like you're going back and forth around them. We've done that before like this. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So it's kind of like you get this person in the middle and then you're kind of working like back and forth around them.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, we'll get at it. And the ASL department is going to send over some volunteers sometimes at our team meetings and do just like quick 15-minute lessons with the team when we're doing film and stuff like that.
Okay. You want to talk about some of that stuff?
Okay.
Okay, so we also put together just kind of like communicating with like deaf people on the court. And Coach and Ben that are here, you guys have actually seen Kerwin and Ben played with him. But some people maybe watching this video haven't, so this might just kind of be some helpful things as you start practicing and playing with him. So, okay, so one thing we always do is we just tell the refs that Kerwin's deaf, like before the game, because he might like play after the whistle. Especially like as you go out west, there might be like some new referees that just aren't used to him, but we've almost had people call technicals on Kerwin before because they didn't know he was deaf at first, and he would play after the whistle and start dribbling down for a layup after the whistle was blown like 10 seconds before just because he doesn't know play stop. So yeah, so he's saying like on offense, like a lot of times it's just like pointing, like showing where you're going and if we're crossing or what spot I'm going to go to on offense. And then on defense, I'll use my voice to call out like picks or switches or who's jumping. So Kerwin does a pretty good job of that. Like, you know, he's going to say pick, but it's not really understandable to other people. But if you're like on the same side with Kerwin and he's behind you and you're in a place where you're going to get picked and you hear his voice, that's him saying that a pick's coming. So, and you guys will kind of get used to that, like, as you're more familiar with him. Okay. And he's saying like sometimes like with the adult team, like that's like if who's jumping. Yeah. So if you're like on a side and like you're deciding who's jumping, you might like tap each other or like pull on the chair, and that would just tell the person like I'm jumping. So it's probably one of the harder things is like if you're on that weak side, who's jumping because you're kind of watching the ball and watching your side and trying to get each other's attention. So, but like, you know, for anything else for picks and switches and stuff like that, Kerwin's very vocal. So you guys will kind of get used to just, okay, if I'm on Kerwin's side and I hear him voicing, it's that he wants to switch or that a pick's coming or something like that. So, okay. And then just the hardest like communication problems is, like we said, deciding who's jumping. Okay, if I'm on defense, like if there's a shot behind me that I can't see, or that there's like a turnover and I can't see it. So again, that's kind of like somebody might point your direction, or if like somebody on the bench is like it's on our side of the bench, you can point, that sort of thing. That's also hopefully like when I'm interpreting the games, I'm kind of trying to be that voice. So if I see it, I'm jumping up and down and getting his attention to go this way, or if there's a foul or something like that. So kind of like teach the interpreter what you want them to do also.
What's the how do we sign out cookies? Sorry, we say cookies when we get a steal.
Remember? Yeah, so we kind of talked about that. So think like some stuff like that, like signing cookie is probably going to be harder than just like trying to point or something like that. So, you know, I think like
getting a steal, dipping in the cookie jar.
Yeah. So that might be more just kind of a point. I feel like a lot of stuff that's maybe like, you know, like some of yours was like color coded where it was like blue or red. You can sign that pretty quickly, like blue, red. The defenses was like 50, so you can do like 5-0 or 5-1. But stuff like that where it's just kind of like quick, okay, we got a steal. it's maybe just pointing or getting his attention that it's
Right.
going the other way would probably be easier, I think, right? Okay. And then one other thing we've seen is like if the ball's out of bounds and the ref only like voices it, doesn't say like which way it's going, doesn't point. Or sometimes if there's just like a weird call, like the ref calls something that he wasn't expecting, for Kerwin to know like which way it's going. So like if the ball's out of bounds and the ref makes a bad call and Kerwin thinks we're on offense, but really on defense, somebody might come and back pick him right away. So that's probably just more like your team kind of helping like point which direction. We've also tried to tell the referees like, okay, if you're making a call, don't just say red, point that direction that it's going so he can see.
Yeah, they're supposed to do that anyway.
Yeah, they should do it, but they don't always do it. So yeah, he's like the referees in the East probably know it, but maybe the new ones in the West might not know that I'm deaf and do that. So I guess like, Ben, you played with him a little bit, or coach, like anything else you've seen or think might be helpful to tell other people?
No, I think we'll adjust as practice goes and stuff like that. And I'll just stay honest with him, and we'll kind of make adjustments too. If it does become something where he is getting back picked, maybe we automatically just run to a 2-man press or something like that. So that's on me to make the adjustments, not him.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say these things like happen often. It's just things I've seen like because of his deafness can be.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, of course.
Because a lot of times I think if you guys saw him play and didn't know it, you probably wouldn't know that he's deaf really. So
Right. Yeah, no, he communicated good the second day of the camp. So as long as he comes in and does use his voice so people get used to it, that'd be good.
yeah, and as you guys practice, we've seen that with our team as we played together more years, it became a lot easier to do that. So okay. Other things finished? More. Yeah, I think that's kind of all that we had planned. So we'll put that video up, and then Kerwin will work with the interpreter on this as well, as far as like making sure they know those signs. So as coach or somebody else communicates something to him, they'll kind of know what that terminology is. So
You guys are in town next weekend?